Yes, guys, what is going on? Welcome to episode 8 of the MLS Sorare Road to Glory. Hope you're all doing super well. Let me know in the comment section how you got on this past weekend. As always, there'll be a couple of cards given away in the comment section. Now, we've got to recap what was an eventful weekend when it comes to MLS. Literally, I think it was like 30 minutes after I uploaded last week's episode, episode 7. Sorare came out with an update to the hot streaks, which meant that I think the second hot streak now is as easy as the first. Like, it's the same amount of points, I think. Definitely is the case in Rare. I need to double check in Limited before I say something like that, which I'll have a little look at in a minute. But yeah, it was just ironic that as soon as I uploaded the video, yeah, there was an update to the hot streaks. But it didn't really matter, lads, because we didn't bloody hit it again. Atlanta community lineup almost hit it. Gregerson went off injured. 1-1 draw. We got the captaincy right. We got the double decisive between Latte Lath and Almiron, but yeah, no clean sheet. Brad Guzan cannot keep a clean sheet to save his life, bless him. Aleski Miranda came off the bench. It was kind of known that he was a little bit under the weather. He wasn't really training too much in the week, so I kind of knew that going into this game, but I had no other midfielder for the stack. And I'm just seeing there, he had a big chance created as well, which is just ironic. But yeah, we were close, but definitely no cigar. And then our main lineup was stupidly close. By stupidly close, we're looking at what, like just under 12 points? 12 points away, and I didn't get my captaincy right. Of course, it was Lucas Engel. What a game by him, by the way. 60 all-around score. I watched the game. He was phenomenal. Played really well. He was like in the back three, the left side of the back three. They're missing a defender there. That can't be right, can it? Yeah, they're missing a player. There should be a player. Anyway, Engel was unbelievable. Like, he defended so well. He was threading balls into the opposition's, 18-yard box and stuff, which gets you, points on the matrix and whatever. He played really well. So great timing on bringing him in, but at the same time, not backing him as captain's a bit annoying. 20 AA for Shambo and basically 20 AA for Arston. Like, for a forward, that is some incredible all-around score. Big chance created, shot on target. There's just only so much you can do, right, without getting a decisive. But the big disappointment was, of course, the player that played away from home, and that was David Pereira da Costa. Now, what makes this even more frustrating is I had Joaquin Pereira, obviously not in a lineup, in my gallery, and he scored like an 86, I think, away to New York. So, it's always fine margins on this game. I was a player away, I was a player away from, had we played Pereira, we probably would have hit top 200. That's a cheeky promotion, and of course we hit the hot streak at that point. The first two levels are both 350 now, so makes it a bit more realistic, I think. And then it jumps up to 390. But yeah, just gutted. Absolutely gutted that we were so close. We weren't even at Joaquin Pereira play away. We were just, Captain Engels, and that team gets to 350. It's as simple as that. So yeah, disappointed. Buzzing for Sean Johnson, by the way. 12 AA away to Inter Miami. Very surprised. Kept Messi relatively quiet, although he still scored a 94. But that's relatively quiet for Messi, isn't it? Come on. Yeah, hoping for something similar, if not better, this weekend from our Sean Johnson. But there's things to work off of as far as like the all around scores that our players are getting. It's very encouraging. You had a couple of decisives in there, and things are looking a little bit better. Now, we did win a bit of essence from this lineup, which I ended up crafting a card from yesterday in my rewards video. If you have not watched that, I'm giving away a couple of cards in the comments there as well. So yeah, if you've not watched it, it's only a 5-minute video, and you'll see that I crafted an MLS defender, and he plays for none other than the Rapids, who of course we already have some cards of with Navarro and Colbasa. It was a 20 essence craft, tier 5 plus. Chidozie Awaziem as our craft, who in fairness is a decent scorer, like it could have got a lot worse for us. So genuinely, he comes in to be a good bit of depth for us, in a position that I know we just brought in Engel, but outside of that, we don't really have too much going on, do we? Since Richie Larea got injured 2 months ago. So the gallery's growing. The gallery's definitely growing. The one thing, we're not blessed with forwards. We've got 2 forwards right now. And of course, the goalkeeper is the next thing. I mentioned it in last week's video. Getting another goalkeeper, and I think is going to be an important thing. But I kind of want to prove to myself that I can, be relatively successful with one lineup first before worrying about 2. I think the moment you start worrying about, not the main lineup and sort of, growing 2 lineups, I think you can sometimes get swayed and you kind of go, oh, I want to balance the lineups out a little bit, like quality-wise, spread the quality between 2 rather than condense it into 1. And we all know, like, one amazing lineup is better than two average. So I don't want that to come into my mindset too much when I'm building right now. But it'll definitely get to a stage over the next couple of weeks, if not the next week or so, where I think I'm going to, yes, just get another goalie in. Who that may be, I don't really know yet. I'll definitely do a bit of scouting for that. I was going to have a little look back at the best scorers from this past weekend, in MLS. And only 200s. Two perfect hundreds. Joseph Martinez very close to being the third with a hat-trick. They absolutely battered DC United San Jose 6-1. Keaton Parks got a very late goal to get a massive score there against Minnesota, who unfortunately beat them. Our boy Engel is in the top 5, which is great to see. Messi's up there. Ali Ahmed's in there. He's been doing really well for Vancouver. Brad Stuver, what a keeper, man. He's just unreal. Like, he actually is just ridiculous. B-row, like, that is an incredible defensive stack there. The Austin defensive stack, both hitting 90s. Jack McGlynn doing what he does, just ridiculous. And you will see Mr. Diego Luna up there as well. It's just so ironic because if I'd had Luna still in the gallery, I would have played him. And I know that's easy to say. You're going to say, Harry, you're chatting rubbish, whatever. Hindsight, blah, 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 blah. And that is true. He was at home. He would have been my only at-home midfielder. And, of course, he pulls out an 89. 2 goals against LA Galaxy. You just can't write it, can you? Jonathan Bamba scored well. Espinoza in that 6-1 win. And there's our boy Joaquin Pereira. 86.6. I think people are starting to wake up and realizing how good he is. Like, if you watch Minnesota play, not only are they like a really good team, but he is at the forefront of everything they do. From an attacking perspective, he takes most of the corners and stuff. And as you can see, 4 assists in the last 4 games. It's a pretty good return. Price hasn't really risen. It's risen from where we bought him at, but it's not like stupidly expensive still. He's still only £5. Pavel Buka. I toyed with getting him, didn't I? Manu Garcia, we mentioned him as well, didn't we, as a midfielder? Yeah, a couple of missed opportunities here, I think, with the midfielder. I think I sold myself a little bit short. I know I could have easily played Pereira and it would have been a different story, but I didn't have anyone that was at home that I really fancied. And yeah, I definitely paid the price for it. But the Atlanta lineup normally picks itself, as you know, so that'll just be an auto pick. Now, I'm in a bit of a sticky situation, actually, with the defenders. Have a look, though, on Predictify, just quickly. It's Wednesday while I'm filming this, so I'm not expecting there to be predictions yet for MLS, but there could be. Okay, there's a couple up there. Minnesota, we'll have a little check through. Yeah, Pereira's in. Oh, the Atlanta one was done an hour ago. That's perfect. Wow, Amador's on a 70, so maybe he does play. So that changes things a little bit. So let's just throw Amador in there for now. Like I always say, if you're new watching this, this is a community lineup. Whatever this wins cash-wise, I'll turn it into cards and I'll be giving it all the way back to you guys. I can't ask for a better fixture for Atlanta, by the way. Like, at home to the Revs. if they can't do it then, if they can't keep a clean sheet in that game, then I don't know when they'll keep a clean sheet, to be honest. We need to get this right. Sean John obviously in goal. Now, at home to Minnesota does definitely jeopardize my wanting to play Pereira, which we'll get into. It looks like basically two defenders to choose from. John Bell probably doesn't play. It looks like Gregerson might make it, but I'm probably not. I don't need to risk that, right? I have a Lucas Engel there away to DC. A Chidozie at home to San Diego, who have been exceptional, to be honest. But 16 AA and a 2-0 loss away from home. Those are the type of scores that I'd like to get in on at home. Something like this. I know this is away to LA, but if he can do me a little 40 AA, I think that could look really nice, in our lineup. But at the same time, Lucas Engel, it's hard to ignore him. So we've got 2 really good defender options there. Like, I'm really quite pleased with that. Moranchuk classic, so we're not going to play Moranchuk because we want to go for the streak. So it's basically Shambo away to St. Louis, Pereira away to Toronto, and of course against Sean Johnson. David Acosta away to Sporting Kansas City, and then Cole Bassett at home to San Diego. Not the best fixtures, are they, really? I mean, the Pereira one, I'm not scared of Toronto, but I'm scared that, he jeopardizes our Sean Johnson. But at the same time, if he gets 1 assist and Sean John concedes a goal but gets 20 all-around score, let's just say, in an ideal world, I'm happy with that. I'm not necessarily scared of the St. Louis fixture for Columbus, but at the same time, I don't think they're blessed with goals right now. So yeah, it's not like the most enticing fixture in the world. So I'd probably still go Navarro despite playing high flying San Diego. They're ridiculous right now. I know they're conceding a few goals, but they've only lost 1 game. Been training together for 5 weeks, before the season. So fair play to them. But yeah, I think Navarro definitely takes the striker spot, and then it's Engel or do we go with the Colorado companion of Navarro's in Chidozie. I mean, it's a big ask for him to come in and have an instant impact. I think he could be busy against San Diego. It's just how well do Colorado play against them? How many do they concede? If they don't concede any, great. But at the same time, like, I'm not banking on them keeping a clean sheet there. And I just think Engel is an absolute tank. Like, even in a game where they could, where they don't win. But then at the same time, like, I fancy him to win against DC despite it being away. So honestly, I'm going to back Engel there. I really, really am. And then the extra position is basically Shambo, Chidozie, Arvston, David Pereira da Costa. It's just one of those weeks where I know we've got a couple of homes there, but the majority of our cards are away, unfortunately, especially like our better cards. And that's just part of it. Like, in a few weeks, that'll turn and we'll end up getting 4 or 5 at home. And hopefully that's when, we end up not hitting the jackpot, but that's when we, hopefully reap the rewards in some way. Shambo away hasn't been great recently, has he? 6 AA, 15 AA, and this was away to LA. It's hard to get behind Shambo. I think it really is. Arvston has been doing pretty well away. Fair play to him. He's got a knack of getting decisives away from home, so I'm not necessarily scared to play him. Da Costa hasn't had a decisive yet away. He did get a 20 AA away to Colorado. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not really in love with any of these options. I think for me, the biggest thing is probably like, how bad is the opponent? Like, if my player is away, how bad is the fixture for them? Like, are they playing a team that are just not that great? For me, like, Sporting Kansas City are probably the weakest side there out of all these options. Like, Shambo obviously playing St. Louis, Colorado at home, so that's out of the question, and obviously, yeah, St. Louis again. So for me, I think I am backing David da Costa there. I can't see Kansas City keeping a clean sheet. I say that, and they actually ended up keeping a clean sheet on the weekend and smashed their faces off in the process. But at the same time, like, I fancy Portland to do okay there, and I think I'm going to go in with something like that. Let me know if you would make any, like, am I missing anything obvious there in your opinion? Let me just have a look at what my second team would look like, just in case I do go in the market for a second keeper. So it'd be Chidozie in defence, Shambo in midfield, Arvston up front, and then we could go Moranchuk, and then that would mean, well, we'd have to buy an in-season keeper, but that team wouldn't be fighting for the streak, which is tough, like, because the streak is like it's not easy, but because it's easier now than it was when it first came about, it's one of them where, like, you probably want to be playing for it, and then that basically means I should get rid of my Moranchuk, but that would be the team. It's not a terrible team. What I will do is, before we do end up leaving, I will just see what are the prices of these these in-season MLS limited keepers right now. What can I get stuck into? What would what's his name, Zach Steffen cost? I can't imagine he's cheap. 17 quid. I don't want to be forking that much out, I'll be honest. £10 is probably my limit, and I think Sean John is actually in and around, he's 12 quid right now. He's on a bit of a high. I don't want to be spending no more than a tenner, honestly. What's Big Brad? I know Atlanta can't keep a clean sheet. He's in and around 12 as well. It seems like 12's the floor, kind of, doesn't it? I can't imagine there's many other ones here that are cheaper than that. What's Montreal's? 15, 16? Yeah, he's $8.99, but I don't want a DC United keeper, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to wait it out this week. I might even just throw in that. Well, I can't even throw in a 4-man effort, can I? I could potentially change my mind up, from now up until the deadline. There is still a couple of days for me to, have a little think about that. But for now, that'll be episode 8. I hope you did enjoy, lads. If you did, please do leave it a like. If you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. And consider joining my members section, private Discord, monthly gallery reviews, and I build your lineups for you every single game week for £1 a week. No pressure if you don't want to join. Just wanted to make you guys aware, just in case. I appreciate you all. Good luck for this weekend, and I shall see you guys in the next one.